Macon Foundation started the process by listing one of the houses in the first block of Bible Avenue between Pine and Pierce Avenue and Oak Haven. 2510 Bible Avenue, which is the Covington house, the house you see in the center there, on their fading 5 list. So every year Historic Macon puts 5 properties on the fading 5 list, and they are properties that are in danger. And what the Historic Macon Foundation endeavors to do is to come up with a specific plan to reduce the threat to these properties and to find a good buyer and owner. And each property is different, so they're all worked on individually. But the reason that the Covington house is on the list, the house was in bankruptcy and had been vacant for about 2 years when it went onto the list. And it was not chosen just as a single residence, but as a representative of what is starting to happen within these several blocks of Bible Avenue. This is the oldest still intact segment of Bible Avenue that is still residential. And the Covington house was designed by Neil Reed, who's one of Georgia's most well-known architects. And it's in pretty much its original design. It's still intact. So windows, doors, the plan of the house, it's all still very much in a condition that could be revitalized, and it could become a great single-family residence again. So then, once Historic Macon took that step, then I actually live directly behind this house on Oak Haven, and Will Finkelstein, who lives next door to this house, and I wrote a proposal to the Georgia Trust to list this segment of Bible Avenue in their Places in Peril, which is their version of the Fading Five. So every year, the Georgia Trust identifies properties all over the state that are also threatened and works to get attention for those properties and to find a good solution to the issues that are causing them to be threatened. So the concern here in this section of Vinyl Avenue is just that the Vinyl neighborhood is a very great neighborhood, has a very active neighborhood association. The houses that are not right on Vinyl are still being well maintained, and it's just, you know, a very intact neighborhood. But there's so much pressure right on Vinyl that we wanted attention drawn to that area. And once the neighborhood association started working on this, we decided to expand the boundary that we had applied for in the Places in Peril project. So the boundary now will actually go from Pierce Avenue down to Vinyl Academy, which is our neighborhood elementary school and County magnet school. So, and that came as sort of grassroots suggestion from neighbors who were in the Vinyl Neighborhood Association. Because of the high speed of traffic there and the school crossing there, we decided to try to look at that whole 5-block area and all of the properties that are along that to make Vinyl Avenue more pedestrian friendly, possibly to widen sidewalks, to do a lot of beautification along this area. And we're working to get prices right now on a master plan for this part of Albuquerque to see what we can do in terms of traffic calming, pedestrian safety, streetscape improvements. That'll be a very long-term project, probably decades long, as we all know from other master plans that Macon has successfully instituted. So we reached out to Scott Page at Interface Studios in Philadelphia because he's the one who created the Macon Action Plan that has been so successful for downtown. There are several other properties. Go on down the list there. The Witherington House is 2 houses down from the Paddington House. Its owner died and it is tied up in an estate.
So she did that one.
She did pass away. She was over 105.
Wow.
There's a nice article in the Macon Telegraph where she went out to celebrate her 105th birthday. So she was a great.
Ellen and Joe, and they have to
Yes, they are her next door neighbors, and their son Will is the person who applied with me for the places in peril designation here. So this one we're very concerned about. It's tied up in the middle, like I said, but we're definitely keeping our eye on it. And then the Cone House at the corner of Bible and Winona is currently not occupied since the owner's death. So that family is working to improve the house and to work on finding a good buyer for that house. There are some commercial properties within this corridor area. Some of those are vacant. We'd really love to find tenants for those and make improvements on those. So, but I think it is very exciting that we've got so many people working together. Georgia Macon, the Georgia Trust, and Neighborhood Association. The Georgia Trust has scheduled their fall ramble in Macon. That'll be the weekend of October 9th. So a lot of these houses will be on tour through the Georgia Trust, and generally they have more than 300 people who attend these house tours, and they come from all over the state. So it'll be a great opportunity for Macon to put our best foot forward, and tours are being planned for several Macon neighborhoods, but probably that will be one of this. If I can answer questions.
There on the layout that you showed.
On
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there's a couple of properties right there that are not part of this.
That's actually a mapping error.
Okay.
Will, who put this map together for me, is a full-time student, and I said, well, we gotta get these right on Buford. He just chose a parameter that listed only vinyl addresses, so there are 2 properties on Buford that have frontage on Vinyl, but they are definitely included. And then there's one property on Cleveland that has a Cleveland address, but frontage on Vinyl, so it's included as well. And on one of those properties that are very deep there, that is Vinyl Christian Towers. So that's, a very large property, but that fronts on Vinyl also. But we're definitely reaching out to Vinyl Baptist Church. There are 3 churches: Vinyl Baptist Church, Strong Tower, and Vinyl Christian Church. So, we're really trying to put together a coalition of churches and residents and commercial property owners to all work together to improve this part of Vinyl.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for listening. I'm hoping to get lots of good support from planning and zoning.
Thanks, Shannon.
You do this great work. Thank you.
All right, Jim, what you got for us?
Okay. On the agenda today, we've got a number of items that we've moved to ratification or moved off the agenda. So we're going to hear item number 2, conditional use on Pinona Avenue. Number 5, conditional use for a restaurant to drive-through on Northside Drive. Number 8 and 9 go together. That's another fast food restaurant on Thomaston Road with a variance for wall height. And number 12, conditional use for changes in architectural design for a Lockwall subdivision. So now we had two items that the Fulton Mill Road on 6 and 7. They were scheduled to be heard today, but they need some more information. We need some more info submitted about that regarding traffic impact, and they're putting together something like that now. So they'll come back on the May 24th hearing. That's a rezoning and conditional use, item 6 and 7. And then the 2 projects on Hydrolia Street that we were talking about earlier, 10 and 11, they have been deferred at the request of the applicant. And so we think they'll come back on May 24th, but that's a little bit open-ended right now. So today, let's go over the agenda that we will hear. Item 2, get you looked up. This is an existing building on that Hillcrest. Many years ago, I think it was a driving station. Yeah, car dealership and a number of things over the years. Now, we got applications for here in the 130 Community Resource Center, Zone C1. So they're doing outreach. You're haunting my vibe.
No. Make it pretty good quick. Sorry.
I can't get it. And I'm concerned about the use of this building, as a dry cleaner. Previous to the dry cleaner. Are there issues with, environmental that they need to know about?
Well, I don't know. It's been several uses since it was a dry cleaning operation, so everything is paved around it, so there shouldn't be any exposure, from the exterior, but there may be something that needs to be checked out in the building.
I had a client who looked at that building one time, and they came away with the conclusion that there was too much contamination there. But if you don't know about things like that, then do you know anything about that? Okay. I just want to mention that.
Listen, I was shocked when they put a restaurant in my lady cleaner. So,
Oh, I was too.
yeah, I saw each other there, so we all say nothing. But they do it there, and I was cleaner, whatever. Yeah, but it's great. It turned out to be clean. It was a little short.
That one's petroleum, which is unusual, but that's good.
Yeah.
They only add above ground petroleum things. There's most of them at PCB, so that one in Mercer is over $1 million between that.
Who would that be like the health department that would?
Yeah, we did it stay.
But would they have to, do some kind of permit from the agency?
And is the applicant buying this building or leasing it?
I think they're leasing.
So that's stuff we need to ask.
Yeah.
If liability stays, you know.
Yeah.
Should we bring it up?
I think we need to just ask as a matter of courtesy.
Right.
They may not even be aware that,
Issue.
that they need to check them out.
Also wonder how they're gonna make money. Use.
Yeah, I don't think they'll-
It just sounds like nonprofit.
Still gotta make money.
they agree.
Okay, number 5, this is a, fast food restaurant, Northside Drive. This is, in that old shopping center, Northside and Forest Hill. They're creating a new out parcel. That will be, about right here. So they'll have a shared driveway basically that, Zaxby currently uses and the shopping center uses. So you'll see on the site plan. This is the existing driveway here. I'm not sure you can see my cursor. And then Zaxby is back to the east on the adjoining lot. Didn't have any issues with this other than both the fire department and the county engineer, the traffic engineer has recommended that the drive-through and queuing lane have an escape lane. So it becomes a double lane kind of thing, at least a 10-foot escape lane.
So if they change their mind, want to go to that?
Yeah.
And what was this? Do we know what this franchise is?
That's a Taco, Del Taco, no, this is Popeye. This is Popeye.
Yeah.
Fried chicken or fried chicken.
More the chicken.
Yeah. So we had some concern about loss of parking for that center, but I think the math worked out okay on that. The shopping center it's been empty for a long time.
What,
I think it was on contract to somebody. That's what I understand.
The whole center,
Yeah.
How do you get, is the only place that you get into it is over here on the left?
well, no, there's another driveway on Northside Drive on the west side. And then you can there's two on Forest Hill Road, yeah.
What I'm trying to figure out is, let me see, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. There's Forest Hill Road up here. You know, with an access and entrance into this property, and there's no stacking lane there. You know, I can see people, you know, out at, Weston, Crossing, whatever, where you come into there,
Starbucks.
and it's dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you fix that?
Yeah, we have a solution for all the things that have. We're pretty,
Okay.
we're going to drive, occasionally only out of the drive-through. So they have to come all the way down, to go around.
Okay.
And we've also worked out with the fire department to drive away, look at the 14-foot line drive and open up the bottom of it there to park, and it's not good, it's actually pretty, to the venue where they can get out.
Yeah, so we had the same concern about They had stacking for 8 cars basically before they were into the parking lane for the shopping center, and we had visions of Starbucks or Chick-fil-A on Bass Road got the same problem, and it's been made worse because of COVID, so it's only pickup, so there's more pickup traffic, but still that it's a possible problem, and I think that Nigel and his folks have been in communication with Don Carter's folks, and I think they worked something out. Okay, number 8 and 9. This is another fast food on Thomaston. This is in the new Public Center.
I was just concerned about the retaining wall here. That's huge, and I'd like to see some elevations that show why that's needed. And
Yeah, I don't think we've got, yeah, we had a pre-development with those folks, and we thought maybe we had some other drawings, but we do not. But basically the site falls away from Thomason Road. So this, can you see my cursor? So the wall is right here. It encloses the western side and the northern side of the site.
Yeah, it's on a hill.
Yeah, so the back side and partially the western side will be 12 feet, but it tapers down pretty significant, I'm sure, the closer you get to Thomaston Road. Because it's a grade at that point.
that's drawing. Maybe they'll have them listen to that.
Yeah, yes.
Would they be turning into the full development Publix?
Yes, down at the base. In fact, this has got the 2-lane, it's got the escape lane, bypass lane, yeah. So they have driveway here, and then they can access from this portion of the Public Center. In fact, you have to enter from that side to park because of the angled parking.
So the Thompson Road is on this map.
No, it's on the bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah, so
This is,
this is their main driveway.
This is the eastern.
This is the
one,
east,
to bring us
yeah.
to the-
Yeah, this is the
yes.
eastern driveway.
I think we're running into the same problem there.
Well, they've got to get to the drive-through, you have to drive all the way back to the rear,
Oh, okay.
and then you'll queue up. Or you can come in the front and use their parking lane as well.
so this is access into the here.
Yeah,
Okay.
or to the right, this,
Right here.
yeah, this driveway goes and serves the entire center.
Could they go back into the public parking, onto Thompson Road?
It goes back into the parking lot. Yeah.
So this is the site,
Mhm.
and so they're gonna level it out and put okay, kind of like Wendy's out on Riverside Drive.
Yes, yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, I mean, you'll have basically 12 feet of elevation change from the rear corner to the front, over that entire distance. Okay, and let's see. And last item, number 12, this is a change in architectural style of houses that were approved in a PDR.
we actually had them on for the last hearing as a ratified item, but someone signed in, with concerns. So, they weren't there, so we had to pull it.
Yes, these are designs that we have approved in a number of other developments. So we felt comfortable ratifying it. But before the hearing, we got a call about, somebody had concerns about it. And I really think the concern, I can't speak for them, but I think the concern was they didn't want a homeowners association.
That's what they said, they wanted to know if it was about a home, like, if they were going to have a homeowners association.
Yeah,
Ethan told them no, that they had to do it architecturally, but we still haven't heard back from them, so we don't know if they'll show up today or not. So that's the reason we did not put it the right location.
yeah. So this style home, we've approved in,
The Highlands.
the Highlands, Kinsale,
Willow Ridge.
yeah. Well, it's the same company, actually.
Yeah, same company, and, Arrowhead by the lake.
Yeah. And that's all that we have.
That's the same group for number 1, too, that's ratified.
Yes.
Yes.
Different subdivision, but yes.
What is that subdivision at?
The Highlands, or this one.
Oh, the first one is Hawthorne Trail, is that in the Highlands?
That's Highlands.
Okay.
And we already approved it one time in the Highlands, they're just slightly different house plans for the next phase.
That's already out of value, this is just like a next phase.
This is for the remaining of the lots
Yeah.
that don't have much on.
Just one big lot of theirs?
No, just the Hawthorne Trail is the remaining of the lots that are platted, and then the lock roll is the remainder of the lots that don't have anything on. I'm pretty sure I've had some discussions with, some of the engineers, and we're going to be seeing some more plans for several of these subdivisions for the next phase of the.
Yeah, this is at Thomason Road, almost.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
What was that? That subdivision fell prey to, the downturn.
It is, several of them.
Like all these.
Yeah. There were a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a pipe farm out there.
Yeah. Okay. 1:30.
Don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, what's on?
I don't know. It's really hard.
Down below.
Okay.
That's a new restaurant.
I'm not talking about that, but that's one that can't get approved, but that's a motor.
Oh, but that's a senior housing project. So it's something that's like 6-story senior housing. We approved in the last.
I remember, something, I think, I saw the installation.
Probably across from Athens Drive.
Right.
Yeah. Little form of that.
What's going on?
Jim, do you have any tea bags in your office?
This.
Can I grab one?
A year old, but.
That's okay, I realize I used the very last one of my dogs.
Appreciate that. What? There was nothing for them. So, it's not just snowballs. What I remember. Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're. Yeah. It didn't blow for me to be. Some website, sorry. So this is a little bit more asphalt, not here. So you entry and it's not question. It's not really a process, but you know, it's a process. So. That's what you want.
Hey, this is a team. They get a chance to give me a call back. So, both of them.
Well, Jerry can't get it up either. So if you just figure out a way to.
So like what? Yeah.
I'm just getting a message that says can't load all the documents.
So he invested.
Unlockable. Yeah.
Who's the end user?
I was trying to remember, some pages still to load. I was just chopping it up today.
I got those on my iPad.
You want to get a work or? That was not much here.
Yes.
That's a little bit slower, however, we shouldn't have a problem. So this is all wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's also, I never know which one, because then there's public Wi-Fi too, I mean, I don't know.
There's always probably public Wi-Fi, you can have transactions. You can download, you can access, fees and stuff, or PDFs, this is something we all have transactions. Okay, the MVP, yes. It's just the payment is a little low. We don't have to.
Is it better to go, fancy guest as opposed to public? All right, well, I'll stay where I am. Hello.
It'll change the whole. It's a lot.
So is Jane eavesdropping on citizens advisory?
So that covers.
She just brought up all the rest of it. Yeah, she's got, I remember that they spent a lot of time. I guess that's just a thorn in the side of it.
Yeah.
Which is all stuff like that.
Stab allows that from all sources. And he's got a more communication for being shit. Of course, that's what's so, because Lee Martin is in that. But it's.
Yeah, Marty was doing it, Marty Hoffman was on as citizen ambassador for citizens. I was like, you know, I had to leave right when I started talking about this stuff. I told her sometimes, you know, there's a lot of debate or a lot of discussion before quotas reached or forms reached.
Okay.
The third thing.
Sorry, Tim.
You sell it and they refine it. Hasn't downloaded yet.
No, I can't even, it's so slow, I can't even look up a lock bolt on the map. Here it comes, it's Google's.
Guess, well, what this guy is. Sure. I'm not actually, yeah. The Macon-Bibb is on gas network is having problems. In the networks on that. Blackwell. You're saying the link from Blackwell is an effort problem. That's what happened when I. Yeah, Blackwell was. We heard that from the. You should probably. Multiple versions.
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a lot of water. So I said, how are you shoot wet?
Yeah.
I ate 10 packets. So, you know, the tools, acrobat.
West of.
Actually, they'll need to refer to the website, which is.
Already open for you.
West.
Here.
So we just. Here, we got our PDFs here, like this one, like.
And
So we went through.
because there's like old industrial.
This is a big question. This was. And we flew into. Yeah, saw that plane. Yeah.
I mean, Dwight's like them.
The white chip. Yeah. Yeah. Small, and lobbies, that show.
Chip. Oh, from.
Chip down.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know. He's got a guy, I got his years. He's been flying. Good, solid dude.
What's the white guy?
That's what. I talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Chip on turn. Oh, I look at the access. You know, and he's.
Oh.
He's so.
Thank you.
Quick trip.
Even the jet. I'm still looking for it.
Yeah, which I think.
I think we're gonna get that back.
Oh, I do too. Well, they applied with us, what a sign. And we approved that, but it's a permitted use. So they're like really trying. Now they got fire department always wants to move the fuel farm. Way over. They get way too. Yeah, and I saw him right behind you too. Well, he was right there anyway. He was. Marvin was the best guy. Yeah.
But.
Inspectors.
I got this thing right here. I wish I could figure out what they're about. But I really have to figure it out for this. But now it's too much.
I understand there. Bob told me that Brian had the whole. That never got to.
The guys.
Oh, good. Well, I kind of noticed that when I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got but he's trying to put storage, which is about.
Oh, well. So in front of storage like they, like Tom and Clint did.
Yeah. It's a good area, I think. So.
Well, they built Bowman that run through it is off the charts. You pay for it, but that, yeah. Well, so you have a bunch of stuff in there. Oh, it's nice.
Once you get it filled up, it's like printing money. He just didn't know brand new, that was so bad.
In the morning. Once you get it done. You're right. The margins are like,
You got 99% police at right. Nobody ever comes.
you clean up, a little bit of clean up, but
Top of the place.
and, that's why they want to do that program. You know, sure. No, I know. Well, that Ingleside area might be okay, but get over the bridge.
Could you run the house so that somebody would be there? Okay, thank you.
Because that one alone is, no, wow.
No, she's on her way.
Yes, you know.
But I didn't want him to get there and see nobody there and leave.
Me too.
Okay, thank you.
Got unraveled during all the, so, yeah. That's the same piece of property that was the property out there. It was on the back side. Yeah, I think they want, they got cheaper. Certainly what it's costing now. Yeah. I'm gonna go out there, probably this afternoon. Yeah, there's other times they're going out there, there are people there. There's stuff out in the yard. So that. I'm sure. Yeah, in the house on the farm, which is. That is good.
I could have something I could use.
I gave him the questionnaires. He gave his email, I sent it to him, I gave it to him. And I never got back. So I called him. I said, he was up there, he sat, I sat, he stood out there. I said, let me answer these questions. So I didn't.
Sat.
And then, you know what it says? It's, I said, so Greg, the one down was there. He said, I was only that. He said, I got called and it's been, I got sentenced to 3 years in Jackson. On that survey, you know.
That's the story.
So he called me and he said, I've got a house on contract. Pomeroy. So the lake was closed down. So I called the lake and Ashley, and I said, can you, let's do this. Let's just escrow. I said, let's just So I said, okay, let me work. I called David. He said, sure, what do you got? I said, I had it in the first time. I said, we don't know these times. He said, all right, this is what we do. He said, we don't know. I've got to check. So you'll take it down? I said, yes. He said, so that's what we got. Yeah. He said, I said, he said, he lives in Bibb County. I get his parent early to do it. So, I get a, they write me a check. I could take it today. And I said, can you get the releases? I released. That release. He was over the top. So I'll get a call every week. Going, can you call the attorney? I'm all days. And I need some money out of that thing. And then a week, then 3 weeks ago, he calls me and says, the guy we have in mind is being arrested and he's in custody. So I need your money. And I said, Greg, you don't sound good. What's wrong? He said, well, I broke both my legs and my arm. I said, let me guess, you wrecked the arm. He goes, how'd you know? I said, he's already wrecked the arm. So I need that money released. He never gave me a receipt. They gave me a receipt from a restaurant. So he goes, okay, I'll get a lieutenant, somebody down there to handle the thing. He calls me, he says, yeah, I talked to him, we get the truck out and work about it. So the first time David and I'm talking, he said, what's this guy? I said, Gregory. I said, Prescott. Bill and David, Gregory Hill. I'm like, yeah. You know, here since 1984, he's been here 29 times. He had a storied career. So I know he's a business. No, yeah, that's right. And we had to lock it up because he had some waters in the back. There's a little apartment behind it. And Greg went over there because he couldn't get his gas. So he wanted to sell it. To get it down. And it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And he was a nice dude, a real nice guy. I mean, he never wrote a fight or anything. So he just kind of said that his dad lived there. He never seen. Okay. Does his dad? Yeah, deceased. And he got it buried over there. Okay. Now there was a lane on the other bridge. Oh, it was long. A lot of experience. That was almost as good as you walk the house. She had a little concrete house there, about 1,800, 2,000 square feet. And Bob went in there to work, and I was down to the house, and I come over because she got one in the house. And he said, it's like a floor or something. Wow. And I went, he goes, you need to go in the house. I said, Bob, I ain't going in the house. Yeah, I didn't know. He said, in the house. He kind of got a little nervous about that. We had to get her. That was a thing we had worked terrible. All very good to get her. I mean, it's just, Now, the other two. Now we're getting, that's. She went down to the places, bridges, or something's happening. So, Stephen started saying, you know, things they said, these people. I said, yeah.
That's not there. It's over here. Then I this is that. This is that. So this. There. This is what you will keep your power. Yeah, if you go down. Get to this lower level. All that. I think
We can prove Wi-Fi access, you know, we shouldn't go on board. For some reason.
Just the one you, just the electric one.
Thank you. You got everybody except for.
Yeah, you see there. Just once you read the restaurants, they're just dispersed in each of them.
Do you have that jacket before, or did you just go grab it?
No, I brought it in. I love it.
Make sure you guys will come to the hearing tonight. Well, at 1:30, the planning officer.
You know, so.
Oh, that rezone is coming up on the.
House there, it's got pool and the veranda.
Walk inside.
Yeah.
It's.
What's the current zone? That doesn't allow private club.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, would be interesting.
Yeah. And they only had a bunch of ideas about it that you kind of own down. Well, it was a mix of stuff. It was a
Yeah.
club, an Airbnb, a event center.
It is, a park and then all.
All right.
There could be a hotel, right?
Oh,
Put it in the park.
they've got, I think we got front security with, it's a lot. It's cross time.
It's only 24.
No, there's a,
That you know, it's space.
It's only 24. You got a couple ones on board.
They have available parking.
Well,
Oklahoma,
just curious to see what I want to do.
Some people are very much in favor of that, they're, you know, the people next door.
Well, I sent you the stuff.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, that's available, if you want to ask for it, just that it didn't have quite that. Yeah. You wanted to have, you don't have to choose, really, on that. Let's say we got about a minute left. It's getting a little fuzzy.
Step on 75.
Weird, is there anything else on the agenda that?
That was it.
So,
That was item number one. Here,
I think that's right.
okay.
it's through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ratify item number 11/22 and 11/61.
168, number one, and then
They got to be on number one.
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah.
1122nd Street.
Just number
Oh,
three.
I thought you said one off the road.
Yeah, off of the street.
Oh. Okay. All right, I think we can get started now. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Monday, April 26, 2021 hearing of the Macon-Bibb County Planning and Zoning Commission. Staff has informed you that you must sign in if you wish to address the commission, including the applicant and their representative. Ethan, we have people still waiting outside.
Everybody's in.
Okay. If you have not signed in and intend to testify, please do so now. If several people are interested in an item, it will be helpful if you confer and coordinate your testimony and allow one or two spokespersons to represent similar concerns. At the beginning of the meeting, all persons who are going to testify will be required to stand, raise your right hand, and give an oath to tell the truth. Persons seeking to testify who have not given such an oath at the beginning of this meeting will be required to do so prior to their testimony. Any testimony at this hearing by persons who have not given an oath will not be considered evidence in the proceeding. When your item is called, you or your representatives shall take a seat at the table and state your name and address before making your presentation to the commission. After the applicant's presentation, persons speaking in favor of an application will be given an opportunity to speak. We will then ask for comments from those opposed to the application. The applicant will then be allowed an opportunity for rebuttal. We ask that anyone addressing the commission speak clearly and directly into the microphone. That may be a little problem with masks, but please try to be very clear. Comments from persons not at the table will not become part of the record and are not allowed. Each time you return, please restate your name for the record. Please be advised that each side has 10 minutes per side, not per person. However, each side may request additional time if needed, and the commission will decide whether or not an extension is justified. Each side will be afforded equal time, so any extensions will be the same for both sides. A timer is located at the right of the presenter's seat, which is used to monitor the proceedings. The green light when lit indicates time is available to proceed. The yellow light indicates there is 1 minute remaining, and the red light indicates that your time has expired. During or after the presentation, the commission may ask questions at the end of these presentations. By each side, the commission will allow for questions from any person testifying for that side, or person representing the other side for questions. Such questioning will count against the presentation time allotted for the side asking the question, provided that the commission shall extend such time as fairness requires. Redundant or irrelevant testimony and questioning may be limited or terminated by the chair. Hostile questioning which disrupts or interferes with the hearing procedures is prohibited and will be terminated by the chair. Questions should be directed for the purpose of obtaining truthful information for the enlightenment of each side. Wrong place. And the commission not for the purpose of argument. After hearing both sides, the commission will go into deliberations and make a decision. We may defer or continue the deliberations or the decision until a subsequent meeting if it is determined to be warranted. Further testimony from either side is allowed during the commission's deliberations or vote. We ask that you remain quiet during the hearing and respect the dignity of these proceedings. Speaking out from the audience or demonstrations intended to disrupt the hearing will not be tolerated. At this time, we ask everyone in attendance to please stop their phone or any other electronic device. We have a full commission here today. About any agenda changes?
Okay, we've got 7 changes on the public agenda. Item 1 on Hawthorne Trail, that's been recommended for ratification. Item number 3 at 1120 Second Street and 1161 3rd Street, that's been recommended for ratification. And I understand that Commissioner Rebecca was had a conflict on that. We won't be able to vote for the ratification on that item.
Okay.
Item 4 at 1580 Oglethorpe Street, a C of A, that has been recommended for ratification. Items 6 and 7, a zoning and a conditional use at 4031 Fulton Mill Road. Those 2 items have been referred to the May 25th hearing. And then we've got 2 items on Hydroga Street, items 10 and 11. Those 2 items, a certificate of appropriateness and a conditional use, have been referred by the applicant.
All right, we need to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Ryan and a second by Gary to approve the minutes from our previous meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so carried. All right, first item. Oh, Sheila?
Everybody who's going to speak today, would you please stand and raise your right hand, please? And respond, I do. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence that you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, first item is number 2, is 880 Pine Avenue. This is a conditional use to allow a community resource center in a C1 district. Sherry Williams Mitchell is the applicant.
Good afternoon. No idea why it's from. No, I'm watching. Okay. My name is Sherry Williams Mitchell, and I'm the one of the administrators of ATAP Family Services. And
We operate using, just doing community services and activities for kids, parents. We do resources for adults, helping them find jobs, and utilizing our center as a place where they can print, a place where they can come and get groceries. And so we are a nonprofit. Am I allowed to distribute like material, a pamphlet? We're based out of California, but I moved here about 5 years ago, and we were operating at the Riverwalk Apartments. The Riverwalk Apartments sold, and which left a lot of kids without daily guidance. And so last year, 2019, I just personally just started bringing them to my personal home. I didn't know what to do. They didn't keep, the new owners didn't keep the program. And so we had a lot of parents and a lot of kids without guidance. So I knew most of the parents who became much like family, and they asked if they could bring them over to my house for continued homework assistance and things of that nature. So we've been doing that. I pick them up to church and take them to church, and but we're in it where can't fit everybody in the house, so we need a building. And Pionona, the building on Pionona was ideal. We didn't think about it for a community center at first, just a place to have our food bank. And then I looked at the empty rooms, vacant rooms throughout the rest of the building, and it seemed ideal to have a community center there. And it seemed ideal also from the Middle Georgia Community Food Bank. There were no other food banks in that particular area. And then it just kind of, we have lots of ideas and lots of plans. We like to utilize the front portion of the building to develop artists and their skills and talents, continue to develop young people with their parents. I did check with the building owner, which is Alfie Spears, and he had confirmed that Barbara Ivy was a seamstress there before. It was a cleaners. And that she was there for 27 years. He obtained the building January 6th of 2015, and also informed me that there were never any dry cleaning materials or chemicals that were utilized there. She retired in January 2020, and kind of met Mr. Spears. I don't even know how I met him, to be honest. I don't remember how I met him. And then he was going to give us some space for food bank at his building in off of Riverside, but then suggested I looked at his other building, which is the 8 Pionona. And we want to paint, or we're planning to paint, if approved and we're able to proceed forward, a community mural of a fountain. We'd like the building to be a place of unity, a place where people can come and be encouraged, inspired to achieve whatever it is that are in their life to achieve, to develop artists, amateur, and to utilize professional artists. And as far as compensation and making money, we're currently funded grants. So our board in California has authorized me to proceed forward with this. We're not really necessarily looking to make money enough to sustain the program and to pay people. And then the artists that come in utilize the sales of some of their paintings and the use of the space to be able to cover the costs of what it would continue to run the program.
Okay, well, you were here during our pre-meeting, so you answered some of the questions that we were concerned about.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate that. This location is a good distance from where you were operating out of Riverwalk.
Yes.
So do they have the same access to you?
Yes, parents drop off their children, that's the plan. But I'm not far, my personal home is not far from where the apartment complex is, or our program was at the time. So the kids have just been coming over to my house, like I said. We're in North Macon. But,
This is not in North Macon, that's not correct.
no, I understand, but yes, we've discussed this, as we're still close with many of the parents, and this would be feasible for them to have the continued support. And they could get the continued support through the schools as well, but we have a different relationship with the families and with the kids, and we're almost like family. So it's a trusted thing that you love and care for my family and my kids, and we want them to continue with you. We take groceries over to the Green Meadow Apartments and just bag up stuff and then take it over there. We don't really have a food distribution at the building. So we're just looking at the areas of Macon that could use some positivity and encouragement, and then we try to take some of those services to those communities as much as we can. But this will give us somewhere central that we can do the programs and have a stability in beyond my living room and my kitchen table.
All right, do we have anyone to speak for or against? All right, commissioners, you have questions?
Yes, sir.
I think it's all the plans you had drawn out that you're open 3 days a week
Yes, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
from 5:30 to 8:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anything else? All right, John?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the conditional use at 88 Pine Avenue to allow a community resource center in the C1 district.
All right, we have a motion by Josh, and a second by Brian to approve a conditional use for a community resource center in a C1 district at 880 Pine Avenue. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, so carried. We wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Is there anything to say or?
No, you're good. Thank you.
Next item today is number 5, 3980 Northside Drive. It's an additional use, will have a restaurant, a drive-through, and a food district, garage, lobby is the outside.
Good afternoon. I'm Don Carter with Carter Engineering, representing the applicant, Faraz Darabi. This is for conditional use for a property located at 3980 Northside Drive. We're seeking to build a quick serve restaurant, a Popeyes, to be exact, and about 28 seats inside capacity. We have this is about a little less than 0.7 acres of a little larger than a 4-acre tract of land shopping center. So we're basically cutting out an out parcel to build this building. We turned in all the required information, zoning. The building's a pretty neat looking building. I don't know if you guys want to call that up and look at that, but some brick in there and stucco and some locally made product on the building, and some product. And so having been here through the pre-development meeting you guys had, I understand the concerns. I didn't sense any issues with the use on the property, but mostly related to traffic and circulation on the site. So if I may, I'm certainly answer any other questions, but I'll try to address those. And the drawing I have, unfortunately, I don't have that to you guys to put on the board, but I can walk you through it in a moment. And then we can maybe point on the screen too, if Jim or Randy will do that in a moment. So I think the challenges we have is in proximity to the driveway to the intersection there. You've got the whole Zaxby's traffic that we're dealing with, and then whatever happens to the shopping center. Keep in mind, the shopping center's been vacant for a long time, so we're using part of the parking for that. So in all likelihood, the intensity of the use of that building will be much less than it was initially in the last few years. So it's likely to be some kind of storage component. So, and I'll address those one at a time again. So we have talked with the applicant, and we've decided or suggesting that we make the drive coming out in front here a one-way drive, so you can't come in here, you have to loop around and provide that queuing. So even with it the way it is, right now there's about 11 cars in the queue lane just to get to the drive-through window. So this adds considerable link to that, gets away from the busy intersection there and whatever may be happening at the fast food adjacent to us. There's a little discussion about access, so there are multiple places to get in here from Northside Drive and Northside Drive. So we think that works pretty well, and we've preserved the primary traffic pattern on the site. So hopefully that addresses that issue. I think it's a better plan, and I think it provides a lot of more control of how traffic flows around there. One of the other questions, maybe this is kind of a two-part, was the width of the drive-through. Actually, it was the one bypass lane. So this site doesn't really lend itself very well to do that. Some of the others, maybe the Zaxby's next door has a drive-through lane that has striped parking where somebody can pull off there. So we have about 4 feet of grade change from here to this area, 4.5 feet. So we're a little bit, that's not easily doable. So we actually have a wall here. So this is a building up higher, this parking is lower. So this actually kind of drops down and kind of climbs back up. So, but what we did, we talked with the fire department and the traffic engineers last week, and again with Willie this morning, and Willie's here today if he wants to speak about this, but we had a 12-foot wide drive, and we widened that to 14 feet all the way around, which is pretty generous. And then the issue was someone coming in here and I guess change their mind, decide they want to go to Zaxby's or wherever. So we've opened up an area here that's about 36 feet wide before you get to the menu board, which is at the bottom of the apex circle there. So they have a change of heart. They can go down the road somewhere else and allow them to get out of there. So I think that addresses, pardon? Right, so this whole area right here between my fingers is open to the parking area there. If someone needed to leave or decided to leave.
It will come down like this.
Right, and I can.
Yeah, we will go there. My concern with that, is that, you know how at most of these drive-throughs, they may put up little stalls.
So you can't go around.
But then they'll come in the wrong way and make a U-turn and do whatever, and they get people to, or cause people to not be able to get in and out of the property.
Right.
But it's for them to save 10 seconds to go around the building. So what will prevent people from coming down like you normally would and deciding they want to go in the right way, they'll just cut through right here.
At the bottom there.
Where that lane is.
Kind of like I do at Wendy's on probably nothing. If nobody's stacked up there, I mean, if there's none, it's gonna be hard to do that, but,
Oh, they do it anyway.
oh, they will.
I'm just trying to,
But we're a long ways off the road now, and we're internal, and we're next to the shopping center where there's really no traffic there on Macon-Bibb. So I don't know if that's, I understand your concern, but I'm not sure we can correct that.
but there's nothing going to be there to keep them from turning right into there from the back of the property.
Right. I mean, we can narrow it down some.
Other than good sense and manners?
Who would have ever thought of that?
Do what?
Other than good sense and manners?
I get a real frustrated with McDonald's.
I know.
So actually,
It'll take 5 seconds to go around the building.
so the first sketch we did, we only opened it up about like right here. So, but that's still not going to keep somebody from coming in here and doing it. There may be some things we just can't. We just can't fix some things. We try, but I don't think, we can put ceramic buttons here that they're going to drive over those. Those are little turtle things you see on the road that those never stop
Put
anybody.
them there anyway.
Yeah.
Just do anything you can to keep it All right, anything else you want to say?
Well, the whole bypass thing, the fire department and traffic engineers agreed to us aligning that would check that box for them. So hopefully you guys are okay with that.
All right. Anybody for or against other than Willie? Nope. Okay, Willie, do you want to say anything? Nope. Okay. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Don before we do?
I got one.
Okay.
What the other bid?
Very good one, before the end of the year. Takes about 3 months to build them once they get going.
That's crazy. It doesn't save me a trip on Sunday afternoon about the Thompson Road.
Okay, Commissioner, you.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve a conditional use to allow restaurant to drive through in PC District at 3980 North Side Drive.
Second.
All right, we have a first by Brian and a second by Gary to approve a conditional use to allow a restaurant with a drive-through in PDC District at 3980 Northside Drive. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Yeah,
Okay, the next item involves two applications. Number 8 is a conditional use at 5571 Thomason Road. This is for a restaurant drive-through in the C4 district. Tim Minor with Takala LLC is the applicant. And number 9 is for the same address, same application, but this is for a variance for a retaining wall with a height greater than 20 feet. The C4 district, Tim Minor against the applicant.
Yes, I'm Tim Minor with Takala, which is a Taco Bell franchisee out of Birmingham. 3750 Corporate Woods Drive, Vestavia Hills, Alabama.
were you here when we, swore in?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, I'm here to request, obviously, first, a conditional use for a fast food for the drive-through. We got Taco Bell. It's in the shopping center parking lot. Everything's already there. I mean, we're just going inside the shopping center parking lot. We're not having to tie any access to GDOT, anything like that. So,
Were you here during the pre-meeting?
yes, we had pre-development over Zoom, which y'all come back and that's actually the same thing with the bypass lane, which we added bypass lane.
We were requesting some, elevations showing site and the wilderness. Do you not have those?
No, I did not have any, on elevation, I think I sent some with the plans of the building.
Yeah, I'm looking for elevations for the site.
Oh, no, I didn't, I don't have anything with the retaining wall. Did not know that.
Well, you're asking for a variance in a retaining wall higher than, what is permitted, so I would think we needed to see that.
Okay.
What kind of wall would it be?
It's a segmental wall, keystone.
All right, do you have anyone to add to this or someone to oppose it? Anyone else to speak?
No one else to sign up.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have questions, for the applicant, Mr. Minor?
I was just curious, do we have an aerial that includes the shopping center? So we get a sense, because the parcel that's on here appears to be partially in that garage to the right of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure we got,
I don't know anything's up to date. The shopping center is there.
Yeah.
This is just a vacant dirt spot sitting in the shopping center as an outparcel. Everything's paved and operating, it's the Publix.
well, we're ready to pull that off, yeah, good. The retaining wall at its highest would be 12 feet.
That's at the highest point, behind the corner of the dumpster, and it'll go each way at 12 feet, or, 5 or 6 feet, and then starts walking back up.
All right, so at the front of the building, towards Commons Road, it'll just fade into the existing road.
Yes, back toward, yes, the front of the building and to the rear of the shopping center access.
So the only areas that will be 12 feet is like the corner and that.
The bar corner. You'll only be able to see that in the shopping center, so.
Yes, I
And what's the big street? To the left of that driveway, over on the right?
Well, yes. Yeah, that's
Street is actually just construction.
Yeah, that's not good, yeah. I think you'll be able to see how it falls away from Thomas County Bridge.
Drop 600, that's why I've got so much of that. It'll go without saying.
Yes, and I think that all that entrance is all different as well. They've already changed that.
So it's a little out parcel to the right of this curb cut.
It's to the left of this.
It's actually.
Oh, it's interior.
It's interior to the shopping center. It's
It's somewhere back in this.
a semi-pad ready lot that they provided in the shopping center for sale, to purposely sale. I mean, it's,
Everything.
everything's paved around it, all the parking, shopping center's active.
I think it is the same thing for the cars.
Yeah. Gene, you recognize Jim?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't sign in, but I swear.
Okay.
The site is at grade as it is now. The developer sloped all the sides. In order to get the parking in the extra drive-through, they're gonna have to add the retaining wall.
Okay.
So it's, the grade that's there now is at grade, and it's about grade with Thompson Road. So the retaining wall will be down the sides and around the back.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, any more questions?
If it's in order, I'll make a motion to approve conditional use to allow restaurant to drive through the C4 district at 5571 Thompson Road.
Second.
All right, we have a first from Gary and a second from Brian to approve a conditional use to allow a restaurant drive-through in the C4 district at 5571 Thompson Road. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Variance.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a variance to allow a retaining wall with height greater than 10 feet in C4 district, 5571 Thomaston Road. Well, one caveat, can you give us the elevations on that?
I'd like to add that they get the elevations and then they get their permit.
Right.
We'll approve you today, looks
Okay.
like, but we want you to bring those elevations in for staff to look at before we issue the permit.
I'll be able to just email that. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Now, second, all right. We have a first by Gary and a second by Brian to approve a variance to allow a retaining wall with height greater than 10 feet in a C4 district at 5571 Thomaston Road, with the caveat that they will provide the side elevation prior to getting their permit. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, so carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is number 12, it's 111 and 115 Lockwall Drive. And a variety of addresses, 208 to 252 York Lane. Conditional use to allow a change to the architectural design of a previously approved cluster subdivision zone PDE, Charlotte Road, WJH, Standard Agreement, Cleveland County.
You don't look like a Charlotte.
I am not a Charlotte. I'm Cliff Niederbrunn, the representative of WJH Century Complete. I've been here before, but it's good to see you all again. Good afternoon. So,
Dylan, you get his name correct?
I'm sorry, yes, I'm signed in. And so we are headquartered out of Atlanta, 3091 Governor's Lake Drive.
I would like to say that the reason they were not on the, that we had to pull them from the ratified at the last hearing was because someone appeared with concerns, but no one has appeared to sign in today. And no one has emailed or expressed any concerns since then.
Then maybe
It's my understanding their concern had to do with some HOA formation, which really is not our prerogative at all. We'll be building on 15 lots within this existing subdivision. They're almost exclusively centered on that one road, and they match very appropriately to the architecture that's already with the subdivision as well. So I think the objection that I heard through Ms. Doveton, or what they had communicated, had to do with HOA formation.
Okay.
That had no problem with the proposal based on the previous that had been approved and on the existing architectural.
All right, and so there's no one here today, okay?
And we've received no emails.
Okay.
So in other words, they're ratified at that time.
Exactly. We pulled it from ratification, but that's when we do discussion.
Okay, no further discussion, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we allow conditional use to allow change of architectural design of a previously approved cluster subdivision in PDE district of 111 and 115 Rockwall Drive, as well as 208 to 252 York Lane.
All right, we have a motion by Brian and a second by Tim to approve a conditional use to allow a change to architectural design of previously approved cluster subdivision in the PDE district on Rockwall and York Lane as noted. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have 3 ratifications. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the ratifications, including the conditional use at 468 Hawthorne Trail, the conditional use at 1120 Second Street, 1161 Third Street, and certificate of appropriateness at 1580 Oak Street.
Okay. All right, we have a motion by Josh and a second by Brian to approve the ratification items number 1, number 3, and number 4 as noted on the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so carried. Do you have any other business, Jim?
No, we don't, other than to let you know that we'll be back in this room on May 10th. May 24th is going to be at City Hall.
All right.
We'll give you a reminder, so.
Okay. We have a motion to adjourn, and Brian?
Second.
We have multiple.
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so carried. Thank you, gentlemen.